Hello everybody, welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Today I want to talk to you about Laphroaig Càirdeas 2024 edition. This is the Cask Favorites, and it is based off a couple of casks that they had a few years ago. We're going to get into all this, but the maturation on this is wild, so definitely something worth paying attention to. I have a question for all of you though. What is a whiskey that you look forward to every year? Something with like a yearly release, or even like a, say like a quarterly, or like something like Booker's, they do multiple times a year. ECBP does a few times a year. With the Laphroaig Càirdeas, this is it for me. This is the one I really look forward to. A close second for a while was Ardbeg, and like some of, whatever part of their distillery decided to break that year, and then they named a bottle after it. So that's my thing. But I'm curious what you do. Is it, like I said, is it Ardbeg? Is it birthday bourbon? Whatever. So in this case, I've been looking forward to this one for so long, and I was very excited to receive it, and I finally just got it a couple of days ago. So I have not had time to really let this thing open up. This is going to be not a first taste. I did that over on my Patreon, but it's definitely like hasn't opened up. So take that with a grain of salt as far as the taste goes. However, most whiskeys tend to get a little better as they open up, so also worth noting. This was released in 2024. It's 104.8 proof, 52.4% ABV. It's 10 years old, it's 100% malted barley, and it's natural color, although most of it's coming from sherry. It's also about $110. The maturation is a little complex here, but I would expect no less from a Càirdeas. So they ended up taking barrels from two previous releases, the 2019 Triple Wood and the 2021 PX Sherry. The 2019 Triple Wood release involved initial maturation in ex-bourbon barrels, followed by aging in quarter casks, and finally European oak casks previously holding Oloroso sherry. The 2021 PX cask release started in ex-bourbon barrels, moved to bourbon quarter casks, and finished in Pedro Jimenez casks. This feels like something that was done on purpose and put out there with intent, whereas like the Warehouse one, I know I had very strong opinions about it, still do. Check out the review up there if you're curious. That felt like it was just kind of phoned in because maybe timing didn't work out very well. But I've talked a lot. Let's go into the nosing and tasting. You'll notice I have two glasses here. One because I kind of wanted to show you the color, which, I love using my head. But this one, this is my Maker's Mark dipped Laphroaig glass. So I love to use this one whenever I review Laphroaig. Let's go into the nosing and the tasting. Now, I know that I'm very used to Laphroaig, and there are people who would smell this and not be able to smell anything other than peat. But to me, the smoke on this is actually very mild. And the main thing I'm getting here is strawberry, specifically like a strawberry compote or maybe like a strawberry syrup, something like that. But there's also blueberry going on there and maybe raspberry, like just general red berries, because blueberries are red, red berry flavor on the nose. Next, I would say that it's kind of like a clay, dirt in the air, dirt road kind of thing, like a earthy, I would say earthy, but it's not quite that. It's more subtle, more nuanced, more ethereal than that. It's definitely drifting from the peat. Like it's on that same level. And whereas like you've got your berries and then kind of lower, you've got this dusty, almost smoky, ashy, not cigarettes per se, not even cigars. Maybe like a little bit of phosphorus, almost as if you had lit a match, but not nearly that severe. Very soft smoke on this. This is possibly one of the most soft smokes in a Laphroaig I think I've ever smelled. And I think I would have previously given that to the Madeira, but this one does better. I think that's going to be most of it. Maybe if I'm really digging deep, there's going to be like a toffee flavor there. But I might be making that up. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and have a taste. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, even since yesterday, this got better. So the flavor here, let's start with mouthfeel, right? That's probably a good place to start. And, if I were smarter, I would probably have like a concept of where I'm going with each one of these, not just taste it and tell you what I'm tasting. But let's start off with mouthfeel. As you might be able to tell, and I hope it's not coming across on the microphone, like immediately salivating. This is so juicy and like thick. It is, I mean, viscous is the right word, but I kind of hate that because it doesn't paint a very good picture. It makes me think of like oil out of a car, but that's not quite this. There is cinnamon here for sure. Oh man, that juiciness is just so, I need another sip, sorry. The peat smoke is there, not worth ignoring. It's mostly on the exterior of the flavor. It's like you taste something and then it fades into smoke, which in my opinion is the best way to do smoke, unless that is the only note. I love it as an accentuator to something else, and that's exactly what this is doing. It's a nice, thick, juicy, red berry flavor with campfire on the fringes. That's the word I was looking for. I would go with, actually, it's now becoming a little bit more, probably after the second sip, a little bit of that campfire, tire fire kind of flavor that Laphroaig's known for. So if you don't keep drinking this, you are going to end up in that nice, comfy Laphroaig flavor profile that you're used to. The PX does get a little lost, I'll be honest. I don't mind it, but it's not the only flavor. Whereas when I think back at the 2021 version, the PX Sherry, that was most of the flavor. This is there, and it's the forefront, but ultimately you are ending in a place of smoke, and it's delicious. I really like this, but this is going to be for people who love peated whiskeys. I would not recommend this to somebody who loves sherried scotches, unless you happen to also like peat. So that's most of what I'm tasting. The flavor profile here, let's even just really recap very quickly. Especially things that aren't here that you would expect. I'm not tasting like sea salt, whereas sometimes I feel like I will get that. I remember comparing Laphroaig one time to pouring salt water onto a fire to extinguish it and then breathing in. There's no salt water here for this particular one. It might just be getting lost in the triple wood or something. Oh, it maintains that viscosity. It maintains that mouthfeel. And it's very, very, I'm enjoying this a lot. This is a very good whiskey. Is this worth getting? Yeah, definitely. This is gonna get my rating of buy it for sure. However, if you find yourself in a store and they have the 2019 version of the Triple Wood, or they have the 2021 version of the Càirdeas, specifically the PX, be careful, don't get just the 10 sherry, that's different. Buy either one of those, and then also buy this one. But the sherry would be my first choice, the triple would probably second, and then this one would be third, but they're all delicious. So it's kind of, you win either way. All right, speaking of winning either way, go check out my Patreon. There's a free tier. So if you were to sign up for it and you click on the thing and it says join for free, there's no harm in that. It doesn't take a credit card. It's just something that you can go check out. And I actually do first tastes pretty much every week. I also make random posts there if there's something I want your help on, or if I want, community information or feedback. Love having you guys help me out with that. It's really, really fun. So if it's something that you're interested in, even if you just want to see what it's all about, go check out the link in the description below and sign up for free, and go check out some of the first tastes. All right, thank you everybody for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Cheers.